not like ordinary children, Cody. Do you know that? On the night you were born, a star appeared in the sky, pointed right down at you.
There's a lot of wonderful films in the genre, but I can't recall one that tries to envision the supernatural forces of good as well as the supernatural forces of evil.
In this genre, you always see the power of evil, and you're scared by the power of evil. But the twist here, and I think that it's one of the things that attracted me, is the power of good and the strength of good.
I thought this was a really original way to tell a story that has been told before and to make it sort of new and exciting and scary.
Anything that really is truly scary, I've always loved and have a great relationship with my father where we used to watch all these old scary movies. So I was very drawn to the idea of doing this kind of movie.
I've always liked these films, but only the good ones.
I used to think it was autism too, but I'm not so sure anymore. It's as if she's listening to something we can't hear or see.
I read the script cold. It was sent to me by Paramount. I knew Mace Neufeld was the producer, which I thought was a very good thing. And it's one of the few scripts that in its original form was just so compelling. And it had the dramatic bones you look for as a director. And I actually felt right away that I could collect a good cast, and it is the best cast I've worked with.
I think that this script and the way it's being shot and the people that are involved in this film are in the kind of tradition of, you know, Rosemary's Baby and The Omen.
First of all, we tried to make it theologically correct, you know, which is something I had learned with The Omen, talking about the slaughter of the innocents, passages from the Bible, and showing illustrations of good and evil, which are real ones that have been in every culture and every religion.
You lied to me.
Excuse me?
You think what's happened to Cody is connected with the murders. How many children are dead?
5 that we know of.
Slaughter of the innocents. Does that ring a bell?
Chuck brought enormous passion to the production. He's a very good writer, and I think in many ways a very religious man. So he really, I think, believed that the things you see in this film could literally happen, and he also had great patience and the ability to work with a little girl. That was my most trepidatious moment. Finding the right girl who didn't appear to be an actress and who was natural and you could believe had special powers. And B, the ability to keep her interested and have performance believable. And Chuck was constantly talking with her before scenes, after scenes.
Our director, Chuck Russell, has an enormous amount of positive energy, enthusiasm.
I know it's been said about other directors really, really breathing and eating and living their work, but this was, I've never seen anybody in my life like this, especially behind a monitor when you were filming, and the faces he would make, and jumping up on the chair. His enthusiasm is just, it's not only infectious, but it's just, it's amazing.
You have a child. If you don't give a damn about yourself, at least you have to care about her.
Why?
Because you're her mother.
The script did work on a lot of levels when I first read it. It was just a very solid drama going in. There was a question of this abandoned child. There's Kim's character, Maggie O'Connor, who hasn't been able to have children of her own and who has just gone through a bad divorce, who suddenly has to take in this abandoned child, and the question of what will happen to them. And then suddenly Maggie is confronted with supernatural events that she has got to choose, as we all do, whether or not to believe in the supernatural world that surrounds us. She has to question her own faith.
I've never fired a gun before, but I'll bet at this range I'm dead on.
Are you really gonna shoot me, Maggie? Right here, in front of Cody?
Close your eyes, sweetheart.
I admired Kim's work for years, and I saw right away this project could be an opportunity to work with her. She has never done a film in this genre, and I think she brings a special warmth and intelligence to this role, a kind of credibility. She's always been an actress I think people can relate to and care about. And the jeopardy of the thriller, it works tenfold when you care about this character and believe in what she's doing. I think that's what Kim brought to the role.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't mention her extraordinary physical beauty. But secondly, she's a very gentle person and a mother of a child about close to that age. And she was just a delight to work with, and I haven't not had an opportunity to work with too many women in the kind of films that I do.
The problem with prosecuting occult crime is the judicial concept of reasonable doubt. The motives can be so bizarre, so far beyond reason, that they're hard for a jury to accept. He's a federal agent. His name is John Travis, and he's been brought in to our story here as a kind of advisor to a task force that is investigating disappearances of children.
I've been a fan of Jimmy's. I just think he's a tremendously charismatic actor. And I had a sense that putting him and Kim together in scenes would be really compelling.
You know, you can sit and you can talk about actors, and I've worked with some amazingly talented people and some very beautiful to look at people. But Jimmy is somebody, and I cannot get away from this. I never really say this because I don't like this phrase or whatever, but he is truly a classy, classy gentleman.
Tonight you can be reborn through my Lord, or die for yours. You're alone, Cody. I'm all you have.
Rufus Sewell was doing King Lear in England and really liked the script. So I agreed to meet him halfway. I flew to New York on his day, on his, as they say, the dark day of when he wasn't performing. And he read Eric for me, and it was absolutely chilling.
I always wanted to play a villain, but I've been waiting for a good one.
I knew immediately that I'd found the actor for this role. He does have a charm, and you could see why the character Eric Stark would be successful with his New Dawn Foundation and his books and his whole self-help thing. And yet there's a wonderful believability in the dark side of this character.
I love what he does because he chooses so many different kinds of roles. And the mere fact that as good-looking as he is, he chose to play this evil guy. I love that. A lot of guys wouldn't do that. And that's what makes the evil part of him so seductive, is because he is so good-looking.
Cody isn't like the other ones. She's the one they've been looking for all along. So instead of killing her, Eric's gonna try to change her.
She's just a little girl.
She's more than that. She's gonna lead people to God, Maggie.
Christina is, for a young actress, she's kind of amazing. She's sort of wise beyond her years. I remember her as the menacing daughter in the Addams Family originally, and there's still a really interesting kind of darkness about her while she's still very charming. She's going to have a long and, I think, amazing career.
She's just a very smart, alive, creative actress, and just really sweet, and I'd love to do something else with her.
People remember this film, they'll probably think in terms of me being nasty to a little girl, but I'm never actually nasty to her, only at one moment. Because basically, in order to get her on my side, I'm as nice to her as I can possibly be. I speak to her with a lot of affection.
Holly was just a kid, and I think that's what every child actor should basically be. They should be more interested in playing than they are in acting, and that's what she was. I mean, her favorite line was that a print?
If you believe in God, jump. If not, you come to me.
After you.
My favorite scenes, any director loves to scare the audience. And when I sit in a theater and watch the jeopardy that Cody's in the rooftop scene, watch what happens down in that subway with Kim's character and Christina Ricci, I have to admit that I just wait for those scenes when I'm watching the film with an audience.
Choose Satan as your God or your beloved Mim dies.
No! I just love scary movies. I always have.
It's a genre that, when it's right, is really exciting.
So when you're dealing with devils and angels, I think you can make an entertaining film.
I don't think you understand. Cody's very special.
You're a psychiatric nurse, Maggie. You know the diagnosis as well as I do.
I used to think it was autism, too. but I'm not so sure anymore. It's as if she's listening to something we can't hear or see.
It must be that poor bird. It flew into a window and broke its neck. They're all quite curious about death.
I think we found the one.
She was kidnapped. I won't leave here until somebody helps me.
Excuse me, miss, how old is your child?
She's 6 years old.
Same birthday as every kid on that board.
You're not like ordinary children, Cody. Do you know that?
Dear God, please help me.
We're gonna get it back, Maggie, I promise you that.
Eric's got this religion, only it's more like the opposite of religion. About a year ago, they started hunting kids.
What does this have to do with Cody?
She's the one they've been looking for all along. She's gonna lead people to God.
Join us, Cody.
Stark is well protected.
You saying you're scared of him?
He'll bury you if you come after him.
Promise to get her out of there.
I'm not leaving here until I see Cody.
There won't be a second chance here. Not for you, not for Cody.
You have to choose. If you believe, jump. If not, you come to me.
After you.